there, YouTube, and welcome to another video. And we're going to be looking at the most prolific content creator on YouTube, SunnyV2, who's made a video that will make us realize that people we thought loved each other actually don't, and that, you know, anger and hatred for each other actually lies within all of us, and that emotions are in fact things we have. Also, if I seem slightly discontent or whatever, I'm brain rotted and tired and eepy, so but we're gonna do content anyway. So hey Twitter, sorry, YouTube people, sorry. But hey, YouTube people, listen. Shh. The Twitch people said that you looked ugly today. They say that you ain't got no riz. You gonna take that from them? Are you gonna let Twitch get the better of you like that? I don't think so. You get over here right now and you assert your dominance. T-pose on them assertively.
Mythbusters couldn't stand each other.
Jamie and I don't get along very well. That's not a secret we've held.
While Drake and Josh weren't exactly buddies either.
We made this thing that people really love, but maybe
I always used to watch.
However, let's begin by talking about Leonardo
friends.
DiCaprio and Claire Danes, who ironically played the inseparable lovers Romeo and Juliet. Prior to filming the movie, the actors had spoken
What do
very
you
highly of
mean?
one
We're all
another.
supposed to just get along, right, guys?
Fantastic young
We're all best of friends at all times,
However,
right,
in
guys?
his early days, Leo would
Parasocial smile.
always pull elaborate pranks on his co-stars, which was appreciated by some people on set, but despised by others like Claire Danes. He tried to pull multiple pranks on Danes when the cameras weren't rolling, and the young actor wasn't having it. It's rumored that the young actress found Leo a little immature.
So she made a twit longer about him? Look, I get it. It's like, oh, who's that, the Joker guy, from, Suicide Squad. Because that guy was exactly the same. He didn't, like, for him to get in character, he literally pulled pranks on people. Friggin' Jared Leto, yeah. I mean, look, I get it. You're bored, you're on set, you got nothing to do. Pulling pranks on people? Kinda cool. Or you could just get laid, I'm just saying.
For the very same reason, DiCaprio found Danes to be uptight and overly serious, and as a result, according to some sources, the pair barely spoke to one another when not filming scenes together. Roughly 1 year later, Danes was offered but turned down the lead female role in Titanic, with some speculating that she was simply uninterested in doing another film with DiCaprio. Despite this, the two have always talked highly of one another in public.
Kind of makes you wonder.
He's a genius. He's been a genius for decades
Wonder how
now.
Titanic would have gone with her in there.
Taken by Kevin Smith after figuring out that Bruce Willis was a complete and utter.
I always thought Kevin Smith was someone else. I always thought this was the guy from Dude, Where's My Car? And I don't know why. Like, there was some part of my monkey brain that thought this was the guy from Dude, Where's My Car? I can't remember his name offhand, who it actually was. But also, yes, Bruce Willis is a massive asshole, and I feel bad for saying that considering his, medical issue now has basically made him retire. Yeah.
Dick. The two had agreed to collaborate on a 2010 movie called Cop Out, and 2 years prior in 2008, Kevin Smith praised Bruce Willis for being his favorite actor and biggest inspiration. However, as the two began working together, Kevin Smith realized he should have never met his hero. Despite Smith being the film's director, Willis refused to take any direction, with Smith later stating, "I was going at it like Bruce, do it like this. I was directing Bruce the way I direct everybody else." And Bruce was like, "I've been acting like..."
Okay, so the thing is, Bruce Willis has had a medical condition for a while called aphasia, although, albeit that's only been something that's really been affecting him for like the last 10 years or so. So by 2010, yeah, that wasn't really much of an excuse. Bruce Willis was just an asshole. Never meet your heroes, kids.
Like Bruce Willis for 25 years. Do you really think there's anything you're gonna tell me that I don't know? At a later point during filming, Bruce Willis threatened to punch Kevin Smith, after which Willis had to be
letting fame and popularity go to your head. But I feel like if you're employed to work as a actor, you should still be listening to your director, no? It'd be like working a retail job and your only role is to stack the shelves, and you're told to stack them, hey, the milk needs to go here. But you're like, no, I don't think I will, all Avengers, Captain America style. And instead of putting milk on the shelves, you put a goldfish. Because you're like, no, I think I'll do this. Dude, you're being paid. Do what you're fucking told. I mean, I get some
into
creative
the
liberty and
movie's
stuff, but
posters
that's
as he
just being an
refused to
asshole.
turn up to the photo shoots. On top of this, Willis failed to attend the party celebrating the movie's completion, where Kevin Smith made a toast stating, "I want to thank everyone who worked on the film, except for Bruce Willis." In a 2013 interview, Willis clapped back by stating, "Poor Kevin, he's just a whiner, you know. We had some personal issues about how we approached work. I don't have an answer for him. I'm never going to call him out and lay him out in public. Sometimes you just don't get along."
I think that's the thing, is that it's like, you know, content creators. Like, content creator drama is such a thing, and it's so much more evident, and you're always thinking like, oh, that's just how it is, right? But it's the same thing in like movies or the acting industry or like the AAA industry. You think, oh, they're professionals, they must always get along. But if anything, the big name stars, they have just as much drama as we do, as content creators do. It's just because people like me and everyone else, because we're always live in front of people, you get to see our drama in the moment. These guys just have it behind the cameras. I am from England, not B.
The end of the story. After Willis was recently diagnosed with aphasia, Kevin Smith took to Twitter writing, "Long before any of the cop-out stuff, I was a big Bruce Willis fan, so this is really heartbreaking to read. He loved to act and sing, and the loss of that has to be devastating for him. I feel like an asshole for my petty complaints from 2010, so sorry to BW and his family," which is a much nicer ending compared to that of Sylvester.
To be fair, with any, like, fame and popularity gets to people's heads. And I see this a lot in the content creation sphere, where somebody who doesn't know how to handle attention gets attention, and all of a sudden that big-headed ego-ness narcissism suddenly sprites up, and all of a sudden they have a "I'm mightier than thou" syndrome, where "you are below me, my peasants. Yes, oh, you want to give me directions? No, I have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Yes, I am clearly far superior than you." Like, it's that meme. What's that meme? It's that guy in the corner, and it's like, "Nobody here knows that I'm a micro celebrity on the internet." Like, realistically, fame and popularity and getting big-headed from it is so ridiculous, because outside of the bubble of people who care, you don't matter. You're just another human. Like, if people don't know what you're famous for, they'll just see you as a pompous asshole. And especially within the content creation sphere, like, people like, you know, insert any 1 million subscriber person on YouTube. "Oh yes, I have 1 million subscribers," and then a normie out on the street just going about their 9 to 5. I'm sorry, who are you? Sorry, Mr. Beast who?
Sylvester Stallone and Richard Gere. The two met whilst filming a movie called The Lords of Flatbush, where Stallone instantly disliked Gere's demeanor, stating, "We never hit it off. He would strut around in his oversized motorcycle jacket like he was the baddest knight at the round table, although the real argument came when the two were eating lunch together." Stallone stated, "I was eating a hot dog and he climbs in with a half a chicken, covered in mustard with grease nearly dripping out of the aluminium wrap."
Wait, I was eating a hot dog, he climbs in with a half a chicken, covered in mustard with grease in it. Why are they depicting my regular lunch dinner?
I said, "That thing is gonna drip all over the place." He said, "Don't worry about it."
Trouble is, Sylvester Stallone has such a unique voice. I can pick, you are literally reading this in his voice. "I was eating a hot dog and he climbs in with a half a chicken covered in mustard with grease and nearly dripping out of the aluminium wrapper. I said, 'That thing's gonna drip all over the place.' He said, 'Don't worry about it.'" "What are you doing? I am the law."
Which was followed by Richard Gere spilling grease all over Stallone's pants. As a result, Stallone, quote, elbowed him in the side of the head, after which the director chose to replace Richard Gere with a different actor altogether.
God, dude, imagine spilling your grease on somebody and that gets you kicked off of a movie. Guys, this is why you use a cum sock, okay?
Taking place more than 50 years ago.
Oh, not that
Stallone
kind of
has
grease.
stated,
Oh, I see.
"To this day, he seriously dislikes me," which is an ending also shared by Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy after their one and only season of Sam and Cat. When the show came to an end in 2014, Ariana...
Am I the only one that thought these, like, teenager life dramas were the most pretentious things that had ever existed, even when I was of the right age to watch them? Like, at least Drake and Josh was kind of funny. Most of these kind of ones were the cringiest things on the planet, even when you were of the age that they were being aimed towards. Yes, I believe the word boring even for the age demographic, was
Ariana Grande made an extensive heartfelt twit-longer, thanking everybody involved in the production,
unironic twit-longer,
except for the other main co-star, Makari. This implied that the two weren't as close as the show suggested, which was confirmed at a later date when Jeanette stated the following.
She would have to miss work because she was being pulled in all directions, so she's got to do radio shows, she's got to do the Billboard Awards, the Grammys. She's performing.
Why is this music in the background? Like, it's almost overpowering the voice. Sunny V, might I recommend if you're doing an excerpt of someone's voice that you don't have epic music playing over the back of it? Also, I'm gonna make a twit longer about how SunnyV2 doesn't know how to edit his videos. Gah! So I was watching a video by SunnyV2 and I couldn't make out what Ariana Grande was saying because she was so overshadowed by the music that hadn't been edited out. Ah!
Anyway. With the Grammys, and I'm like acting on the show with a box because they decided that like for that week she should.
I don't know who Ariana Grande is, Sonara.
As a result of this, Jeanette would write, Ariana misses work in pursuit of her music career while I act with a box. I'm pissed about it and I'm pissed at her, jealous of her, before expressing further jealousy in her memoir by attacking Ariana's upbringing. Ariana
What a name for a book! I mean, I suppose it grabs your attention.
Attacking Ariana's
what
upbringing.
What the fuck is that
Ariana
name?
grew up in Boca Raton, Florida, an incredibly
I know.
wealthy,
Obviously, maybe she had a
town
shit
with
mother,
a healthy
but...
mum who could buy her whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted.
Okay.
Gucci bags, fancy vacations, and Chanel outfits. Jeanette's hatred toward Ariana always felt pretty pathetic. However, the feud between Will Smith and Janet Hubert reached...
Oh, I know this one! I know this one! I fucking love Will Smith. I remember reading this one ages ago. Okay, I'm gonna let him speak because it's fucking hilarious.
A whole new level of petty jealousy. Janet played Will Smith's auntie in Bel-Air and took an instant disliking to Will Smith as she felt it was unfair he'd been given a TV show at the age of 22. Will Smith later stated, I can straight up say—
In West Philadelphia, born and raised, where my auntie got jealous of my plays and gains, I came up on her— you know what, that was not the phraseology I was looking to use. Anyway, moving on!
That Janet Hubert wanted the show to be the Aunt Viv of Bel-Air show. She said once, I've been in the business for 10 years, and this snotty-nosed punk comes along and gets a show. To her, I'm the Antichrist. While Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton, also noted Janet was painful to work with. There were days when we were all on set and she would literally go off on people, and they got to a point by the time the second season—
talk about— okay. I know I relate all of this to content creation, but I see this all the time in the VTuber sphere, because VTuber is about as petty as a fucking monkey. This is the same thing as VTubers who get butthurt when they've been doing content creation for 5 minutes, and then somebody who's been doing content creation for 4 minutes comes along, gets more attention than they do, and gets the spotlight. Dude, it doesn't matter. Focus on your own shit. Just because somebody else gets attention and you don't doesn't mean that you're invalidated. Your success is not— Your failure is not defined by somebody else's success. Your failure is your failure. Oh my god, I've been doing this for 8 years in different forms or another. I could give zero shits about my viewership. I don't give a fuck if I'm popular. I mean, you know, more the better, right? But at the end of the day, all I care about is doing what I do. And I hate this, like, narcissistic mentality that you have to be popular. Like, holy shit, just do the thing. Get paid. Enjoy your life. Stop worrying about other people. Fucking enjoy your existence. Life is too short to be caught up in this. I'm sorry, this is like a really big this subject right here is something that perpetuates my existence, and it frustrates me to no end seeing other people deal with this in the wrong way.
Came around where we're like, this is unacceptable. As someone who was seen as
like
difficult, Janet was offered significantly less money to appear in the 4th season.
You know what? People are allowed to be angry, and I guess this shows people are allowed to be shit as well.
However, this only increased her resentment toward Will, as she'd state, there will never be a reunion, as I will never do anything with an a-hole like Will Smith. He is still an egomaniac and has not grown up. This constant reunion thing will never ever—
Imagine hating Will Smith. Like, I get it. I'm sure he's quite pretentious. He's got an ego. But it's not like he's ever tried to do anything necessarily bad. Every time I've ever seen anything from Will Smith, it's usually— I mean, apart from the time, you know, apart from being at the Oscars where they scripted him slapping Kevin Hart or whatever his name was. Still, you know, I'm sure he's probably got his moments. But everybody does. And yes, Jada definitely doesn't help his existence right now.
ever happened in my lifetime unless there is an apology, which he doesn't know the word. Despite stating that there wouldn't be a Fresh Prince reunion, it did eventually happen in November 2020, where more than 30 years later, Janet was still convinced that Will had ruined her life, stating, "I hated what you did, I just hated what you did. You took my career away of 30-something years."
What do you mean you took it away? The only person who's taken it away is yourself because of your shit personality. If you weren't so greedy, obnoxious, and pretentious and so caught up in somebody else and focused on what you were doing, maybe it wouldn't have been the case. Like, somebody else coming along and doing their own thing is their thing. If you're more caught up in how they're affecting you, that's on you, my dear. Holy crap.
Will Smith's comments about her being difficult made it hard for Janet to land work afterwards. At the end of their talk,
or maybe it's because you're hard to work with because you're so pretentious.
the two made up and apologized, although Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey had no.
There's something I could say on this specifically. And all I'm going to leave it at is, big-headed ego. Big-headed ego. Two people who have a mightier-than-thou syndrome going at each other. You know what? Sometimes I don't mind animosity between people, because when it's shit people with shit mindsets and people who literally have a complex... You know what? We need to make the Hunger Games. We need to make the Hunger Games just filled with people like Nicki Minaj and... the other one. I already forgot the name. Just perpetuate it filled with people who think that they're better than everyone else. The world will be a much better place.
No interest in doing so. They'd appear alongside one another in season 12 of American Idol, where their almost polar opposite personalities began to clash immediately.
Are you country? Are you country? Do you like country? Do you like country? And I kind of feel like we're making her do.
Oh, that would give me secondhand cringe. See, this is what I mean. I hate watching if I watch people doing something cringe, like, first-hand cringe is tolerable because you know it's your cringe. But watching other people be cringe is infinitely worse because you're having to vicariously be related to it by proxy. You're there in its surroundings, and you being seen in that surrounding of cringe, it's like watching something weird happen on TV, and you're like, why the fuck are they doing that? Stop it! That's cringe! Oh, why am I here? And then you start gritting your teeth, and you start wincing and curling up and trying to hide.
Help her we're trying to help her as opposed to just talk about her outfit.
I'm gonna continue to speak.
Of course, you
well,
always
we're
do.
almost
Go ahead.
actually.
In a notable instance, the two had this argument mid-show where
nobody said every moment. Oh, excuse me, the music will cut me off if I can I make. Oh, darling. As a singer, I just feel like.
The thing is, I get that they're clashing, and this happens even with regular people. But the thing is, egotism happens when you've been inflated due to some reason or another. Like, when people get popular, when people get stardomism, their egos get to a point where they start thinking that they're allowed to be a dickhead just because they have that comfort zone of being popular. I'm sorry, but no amount of followers entitles you to being an asshole. Just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean your opinion means more or weighs more than other people. You dick.
What maybe trying to be expressed is just sing from your heart the entire time, and your notes will continue to shine regardless of the dirt that gets splattered around you.
After which Nicki threatened Mariah with violence.
Multiple people heard Nicki say, if I had a gun, I would shoot that
leading Mariah to state the following.
It felt like an unsafe work environment. I'm not going to take any chances, so yeah, I did hire more.
My dear, American Idol, meaning it's based in America, meaning you live in a country where people use guns like we use toilet paper. Saying you're in an unsafe environment is like saying people breathe oxygen. No shit.
Security.
In response to Mariah Carey's claims, Nicki responded by tweeting, "Hey y'all, let's just say Nicki said something about a gun."
I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause again. I'm sorry, I sometimes ironically say, hey y'all, y'all. I mean, come on, y'all. Just say you guys, you all. What y'all is like such a, sorry, this is like a personal grievance more than anything else, but y'all. I hate it when people use the word y'all. So fucking weird.
gun. People will believe it because she's a black rapper. LeMayo, I'll then hit up Barbara and milk it, implying that Mariah had made the story up. Nikki then made another tweet reading, I guess it hurts to have the producers tell you to your face that Nikki is the best judge we've had since Simon, or poor you, keep them lies coming, implying that Mariah was also simply
Oh, God. Reading how Nicki Minaj types is like looking at a 12-year-old that's just discovered text speech. Ugh.
Not as good at judging. For obvious reasons, both judges quit the show after only one season, after which Mariah Carey stated this.
That was the worst experience of my life. I would never want to be involved with it again.
With Drake Bell and...
Okay, last thing on this, and I'm only pausing so much on this just because I fucking love pointing out the absolute pivotal example of a silver spoon being up someone's ass. This was the worst experience of my life. Talk about someone who's led with their entire life with everything being given to them. Yes, this was the worst experience of my life. Getting paid thousands and thousands of dollars to appear on a TV show to have an argument with someone. Yeah, comparably, that doesn't seem like much of an issue, especially when you're still earning money from it when there's all the other shit going on in the world. You know what? Scope is a thing.
With Drake Bell and Josh Peck holding a
this is a good one. I love this one.
About returning
I know
to
this
their
one.
most famous show. While it seemed the two had a great time filming Drake and Josh, Drake would take to Twitter in 2017 writing, when you're not invited to the wedding, the message is clear. True colors have come out today. Message is loud and clear, ties are officially cut, I'll miss you brother, which was followed by Drake flaming Josh via text for the very same reason.
These two had a friggin'
getting married that night, and I see these text messages.
Because this was one of the very few teenage life dramas that I used to watch as a kid. And I used to love it, like, especially some of the earlier seasons. It was like Friends or Saved by the Bell or whatever else. And it's kind of wild to see how much they've grown. Like, these guys are men now. Holy shit.
From him, like, cursing me out, coming for me. I'm like, on the night of my wedding.
The incident was a sad moment for fans of the show. However, 2 months later, they'd make up, apologize, and even post a 12 million view video together, implying that the duo was on good terms. That would be until 2021, when Drake found himself in a bunch of legal trouble, after which Josh made the claim that they were never really friends.
Are you guys like not friends?
Not really, no. We made this thing that people really love, but maybe we weren't that close.
So you guys were never close during the, like, when you were filming, Drake and Josh? You were just kind of co-stars?
Obviously, there were times where we were closer than not, but
you
when
never know what goes on behind closed doors.
I mean, we're just totally different kids.
These statements have since been criticized, given they'd spent a large amount of time together outside of the show.
Dude! Okay, you know what? Screw their drama. I'm now infatuated with this guy's Doug. His like Cartoon Network t-shirt. He's got Doug, Reptar from Rugrats, friggin' Angry Beavers, Cat and Dog. Dude, this t-shirt is giving me a midlife crisis. This entire t-shirt is my childhood.
Given they'd spent a large amount of time together outside of the show, with one
Like,
of
that
these
was
critics
Nickelodeon
being
in a
Drake Bell
nutshell.
himself, who'd give numerous examples of them hanging out together.
That's what bugged me about it. He's like, we weren't friends, we didn't hang out.
Your Christmas party, the party that I made.
He came all the way to Riverside to support me.
Josh is clearly trying to distance himself from Drake's sketchy legal situation, given Josh is still actively booking movie roles in an industry where reputation is everything. There are obviously mixed reports about whether or not they liked each other as co-stars, although it seems obvious that they're now no longer on speaking terms, and neither
what
are the two
still wilds me out is seeing kid actors who used to be really fat, and then all of a sudden they're like fucking skinny and ripped and muscly. Like Neville. I can't remember what the name of his actor was, but the guy who played Neville from Harry Potter, like in Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoners at Azkaban, you know, he was this fat, snivelly, puppy-faced kid. And then all of a sudden, in the last 2 movies, he lost all his puppy fat and he was fucking big. He was huge. He was swole. I was like, damn, dude! Yeah, he was jacked. Or Neville Longbottom, yeah, same.
Hosts from Mythbusters. Adam Savage and Jamie Hyneman hosted
This
the
one
show for
surprised
more
me.
than
I always
12
thought these two got
years,
along.
after which an article was published reading, the Mythbusters always had an amazing secret weapon. They can't stand each other. The article referenced an interview from Entertainment
They
Weekly
really hid
in
that a
which
lot. Like,
Jamie
as a kid, I always thought these two were like best of friends. I thought these two grew up together, you know?
stated, "We like to point out we've known each other for 25 years and never once sat down to have a dinner alone together. We sort of managed to tolerate each other. I think it's probably safe to say that continuing our on-screen relationship in front of the camera is probably not happening." To back this up, Adam stated this.
No, I don't think Jamie and I will continue to work together on other projects. Jamie and I don't get along very well. That's not a secret we've held.
With him claiming it's not a secret they've held, as it was mentioned while the show was still running.
We are not friends. We tend to drive each other batty. We have never, in the 21 years we've known each other, had...
To be fair, driving somebody batty is either a sign that you despise each other vigorously, or you're the best friends that ever existed. There's no in between. If someone's just a regular friend, you don't drive them batty. If they're your best friend ever, absolutely the most amazing friends that ever existed, and you're pog champing with each other, you know, push your friend over, ha 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 ha, idiot, and then the guy's like, you got me. You know, that kind of relationship.
Dinner alone together. Our very different personalities means that we spend a lot of time in sort of conflict.
Periodically, their behind-the-scenes animosity spilled out onto the camera.
What kind of seconds were you counting there? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? What kind of seconds are those? Who counts like that?
So it's no surprise that Adam would also state this.
It sounds like a kid having a go at his dad. Dad, you didn't count the seconds I was hanging upside down doing the thing. Dad, what kind of seconds were those? Dad.
There's a lot of fighting on camera. We got really mad at each other, like really significantly.
I want to meet Adam Savage one day.
Vitriolically angry. We drive each other nuts every day. We get frustrated with each other on a daily basis.
However, the reason they're so proud of their awful friendship is because it's also their key to success.
Because yes, people have a negativity bias. Because angry equals funny. You hear that? Funny. Probably why VTube is like getting into drama so fucking often, because apparently any attention's good attention. Fucking VTubers.
The friction between Jamie and I has an integrity to it and a chemistry to it. We have respect for each other. We also drive each other absolutely batty.
We're not afraid to say something that will hurt the other's feelings because we don't care, Savage says. We consider it a point of pride that the right idea always wins.
Again, this just sounds like people who are the best friends.
It's a working relationship based purely on respect and mutual gain, with their unconventional approach resulting in unconventional success as one of the most popular shows in TV.
I love these two. They're so wholesome and you can't help but enjoy the fact they hate each other. It's like Dumb and Dumber. Except they're really stupidly intelligent, so it's like Smart and Smarterer. Yeah, well, the thing is, Jamie Hyneman, like, he never really was much for the public face. I remember there was an interview one time where he basically said, nah, I don't like being on camera. Like, Adam Savage was much more the extrovert and was the person who always did the interviews. Like, the only time Jamie Hyneman ever went on TV was when they had that incident where the cannonball went through the roof of some dude's house. That was the only time he ever went on in front of the camera outside of the TV show. Anyway, so that was how people hate each other. So maybe from that we'll all learn a life lesson about how not to be a fucking And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what other message to give you. So if you watched this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I've gotten much better at not pause champing every 5 seconds, or at least talking over the content and doing that better. Come check us out on Twitch, subscribe to the main channel, and I don't know, fucking donate $1 million to me or something. Okay, bye!